Good morning and welcome to another Monday Messages from me, Rebecca Atkinson. And if you're joining me live, you're very, very welcome. And equally, if you're watching this on a replay, you're just as welcome. Do let me know your comments in the thread below. And if you have any questions, pop those in as well. Welcome to my Monday Messages. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Rebecca and I'm a holistic health coach, and I use QTT personal development methods and homeopathy predominantly to support you in being able to make healthier choices and sustain those choices, so that your health in your physical life, your emotional life and your spiritual life can be running at optimum levels, and you can live your life to the full and on your own terms. So my Monday Messages are just part of my commitment to that, really, in setting you a theme or inviting you to think about an idea or a concept or a focus for the week that will help you to become as conscious as you need to be about what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And then that in turn supports all of us into making healthier choices for ourselves. So that's the preamble. So today I wanted to talk about something that I think is probably uppermost in a lot of people's minds at this time of year, maybe a little early, but I'm just going to pop it in there anyway. And that's goal setting. And goal setting really is just a kind of fancy term, I think, for that feeling when we are at the end of something and the beginning of something else, and we're wanting to make changes, to do things a little bit differently. And a lot of the time that's driven by wanting to do things better or to be better ourselves. And that's where the goal setting comes from. And quite often things like New Year's resolutions, which is the traditional way of goal setting at this time of year, or in January at least, can be a little bit disappointing when we look back. I think I just lost connection there. Yeah, so I just wanted to save you that cycle of setting yourself goals that perhaps aren't as sustainable for you as they might be, and not being able to keep them up, and by the end of January you're kind of back to your... So I wanted today to invite you to, first of all, before you set any goals, before you do that list of the things you're going to do differently, is to actually take a moment, or several moments hopefully, to look back at what you've achieved in this extraordinary year that has just been. And I'm willing to bet that there have been many, many things that you perhaps thought you could never do, but you've done them. And they don't have to be really big things. They can be small things, things that nobody else would perhaps know about but you. They could be things that mean that you discovered talents that you didn't have, or you discovered skills that you thought you didn't have, things that you told yourself for a very long time that you couldn't do, but circumstances kind of forced you to give them a go, and much to your surprise you did them. All of those things. Or they could be just, I managed to get out of bed every day. I managed to keep myself healthy. I managed to home educate my children. I managed to manage all the rest of the family's ways of dealing with what the year brought. If that's a word, bought. Good morning. I can't see who is watching, but whoever it is, you're very, very welcome. We're talking about goal setting this morning, and this essential step to do first, and that is looking back. And it's something that we don't do very well, I think. And I think it's because our whole culture encourages us to be constantly striving for more, to be constantly trying to make ourselves better than we already are. And if we're coming from that place, it doesn't often feel very comfortable. It can make us stuck in a place of feeling that we're not good enough. And I want to encourage you to change that a little bit and to, yes, of course, have goals for next year. But first of all, look at how far you've come. So the reason for that is several. The first thing is when we look back at all the things that we've achieved and those things, those skills that we've learned, those things that we've been able to do that we didn't think we'd be able to do, it reminds our system that we can actually overcome our fears and our anxieties and those stories we tell ourselves that we can't do things. Quite often, when we have to do them, we do them, and we do them very well. And even it doesn't really matter how we've felt we've done. The important thing is that we've got over the fears and the anxieties, and we've done them anyway. And if we look back at these things that we've done and we say, wow, I actually didn't think that those things were possible for me. So therefore, if I managed to do things that I thought weren't possible for me, what else is possible? And then you can start your goal setting list from that mindset rather than I'm no good, how can I make myself better? And actually, when we have compliments and when we receive recognition of what we've done, it does actually change us on a physical level. It releases hormones that are our kind of feel-good hormones, if you like. So that's another reason to look back and celebrate the successes and the achievements and the skills and the things that you were able to get through over the last year. Sometimes that might be I kept myself healthy, I got out of bed every day, I learnt to how to use Zoom or, how to talk to my friends online, anything like that. I've lost track of the number of people that I know, a lot of practitioners actually, who just said, I'm not doing the online thing, not going online. It's not for me. I can't do it. I'm just not technical. And yet when they were faced with the choice of, okay, well, you can continue like that if you like, or you can work, you just need to learn a new skill. They chose to do that. So they felt their fear and they did it anyway. And now they're wondering why they didn't do it before. So that's what this is about too, is encouraging your conscious and your subconscious mind to actually recognize that anything is possible if we're able to think about it and to just examine it a little bit and to know that we are capable of getting through things and of doing things and achieving things that we perhaps didn't think we were capable of. And I think this year is going to show us that more than perhaps any other year. So make a list, maybe get yourself a lovely journal to write in, and just make a list of all those things that made you feel good about yourself last year. The things that make you go, wow, I did that. That's amazing. And we forget. It's just because we're constantly looking forward, we often forget to just stop and go, wait a minute, how far have I come? And that's something I'm inviting you to do this week before you set those goals. Celebrate your achievements, congratulate yourself, bask in it a little, and save the list of new places to go for another day. Let me see, have I forgotten anything? Yeah. And also it's valuable in doing this exercise, because when you do come across something else over the course of the next few months that might feel a little bit of a challenge, that's kind of taking you out of your comfort zone, you can actually pull out that list of what you did last year, or this year still, and you can remind yourself that I actually felt that about these as well, but I did them. So maybe I can do this as well. So it will seem less daunting, and you're less likely to get pulled into feeling overwhelmed or stressed, or I can't do that, that's not for me. Now, I'm not saying about everything. Of course, there are certain things that, are not for everybody. So I'm not encouraging you to get pulled into something that really isn't for you. What I'm encouraging you to do is just sit down and reflect on whatever went well for you last year, whatever you learnt, whatever you came through, whatever you think, wow, I did that. So that's it. Have a really lovely, reflective week. And then maybe next week we can talk about setting goals. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for joining me. Any ideas that you have for tips that you do when you're goal setting, or perhaps maybe share one thing that you felt that you did last year that you didn't think you were capable of, and you're proud of yourself. Doesn't matter how small or how big. It'd be lovely to hear some positive things in the thread below. So do share. And as ever, if you'd like to know more about working with me, then there's a link in the post with this video, and you can click on that and we can have a chat and see how I can help you. Okay, have a good week. Bye.